Biggin Hill and surrounding areas are full of history. We have the famous RAF airport in Biggin Hill. A stone's throw away is Downe House, where Charles Darwin lived and wrote The Origin of Species. And then further around the corner is the parish of Cudham, which is one of the oldest parishes mentioned in the Domesday Book, with one of the oldest Norman churches in the UK. So today, I'm going on a walk to show you these local areas. Our journey starts on a pathway, funny enough, next to my house, which leads out to the back of Biggin Hill, running parallel with the airport. The airport in Biggin Hill was known during World War II as the strongest link. It was a very important airfield for the Battle of Britain, and it protected London against the Luftwaffe and the invading Germans. It was also the location where ground-to-air communication was developed, which is obviously very important, and we still use that technology today. A lot of people might know Biggin Hill from the Festival of Flight that we normally have every year. Obviously this year it's been cancelled. But as you walk around Biggin Hill, you're littered with history. There are bomb craters littered around the woodlands. There's old pubs which would have been used by the RAF pilots and the groundsmen for their days off, going down and having a drink. And in the woods as well, there's little bits of history. There's some old buildings, World War II buildings. So yeah, if you ever get the chance to come down to Biggin Hill and not just see the airport but go around the edge, it's definitely worth it. Our first stop along the way is this massive crater. Now, I do believe this was a crater created by a bomb. I'm not too sure if it was the British emptying their bombs on the way back to the airfield, or whether it was in fact the Germans flying over trying to bomb Biggin Hill and heading on to London. Who knows, but still, it is a massive crater. Must have taken some sort of force, an explosion, to really dig this out. And as you can see now, obviously all the trees and the foliage has grown back in it and grown around it and reclaimed it. There is still a little bit of rubbish in there, but that's post World War II. It's people just dumping stuff, unfortunately. It was raining this morning, so the ground is wet and muddy, squelchy, so it should make this walk fun. And the plan is to scoot round the back of Downe House, head over to Cudham, have some lunch there. I'll show you the church, show you the house, and then head back to Biggin Hill. The route that I'm taking continues up here. However, I've come to a fork in the road and I'm going to go up here for, I don't know, 400 metres. And there is an old building from World War II and we can actually see into the airfield. So I'll take you up there first of all, and then we'll go and have a look at what we can find. I can only imagine how different this would have been 100 years ago. with the rumble of the Spitfires and the Merlin engines going overhead, and the noise of the airfield, the scramble bell ringing. And this woods and these woods may well not have been here. They do look quite fresh. Must have been part of South Camp, which is part of the Biggin Hill Airfield, which is now just overrun with business jets and hangars. Not really much left of the old buildings in the airport. I do know the apron on the South Camp is still the original apron, but every now and then you do spot something new and something fresh that you haven't seen before, and takes you back to the days of when people were defending the country. Right, we're at the first major stop along the way, and in the woods here, just beside the airfield, which is just there are two World War II buildings. Now these are brick built with concrete roofs, and around the edge held up with concrete posts. This one is a little bit more of a ruin than the other one. What we believe, there might have been ammunition storage, there might have been dispersal huts, scramble halls. Not too sure. Doing a little bit of research online, nothing comes up, unfortunately. So we'll need to find someone local that will be able to give me some more information. But I'm going to walk through them, show you the inside of them, which means I get to use my new light I got for Christmas. So I'll set that up, 1 second. Right, here we go. This is the first one. Nice little window in here. Like I say, it was raining this morning, so it is dripping inside, water's getting in. But yeah, it's still a cool little building. You can see on the wall where there would have been shelves of some sort, the brickwork here is still sticking out. It's on both sides as well, there's bits of timber up there, so it would have been a frame for something. If we walk through it, come out at the back of it, they're greeted with some old metal work, maybe off a plane or a car, who knows. We come around here and we get to the other one, which is there. So let's go in the back of this one. There we go. This one's still got the walls on the side. And like I say, I think this was shelves. You've got the supports there for a shelving unit. The floor's made of concrete. That's pretty cool. Much better condition, this one. If anyone does know what this is for, then please do let us know in the comments. But I will try and find out what they were originally used for. Obviously someone's used this as a little camp somewhere. There's an old sofa bed in here that's been burnt through. But there you go. That's the first of the two buildings. There we go. Right, finding my way back to the path, and I'm going to head back down the way I came to join back on the path that I came off of. There is another little bit of history here. You see, next to that hangar, or in between the two hangars, is an old wooden hut. Now that is an old World War II building. I do believe that is listed now. I believe that is an old scramble hut. And on the side of it here, this mound, these are the old raised up areas where they used to park the Spitfires. And I don't know if you're able to see it because it might be overgrown, but there is an entranceway into it, which obviously I can't get into because it is on airfield property. I wonder if you can see it from here, who knows. I don't know if you can. It's to the left of this tree right here, so you can actually get inside and underneath, which is pretty cool. Right, I'm gonna head back down the way I came, and we'll see you when we rejoin the old path. See you in a minute. Back down to the bottom of the hill. I'm gonna rejoin the path this way. Nearly out of the woodlands now. Got West Kent Golf Course just up there, and we're going to walk through a pathway they've set out. The other side of there we go up a really steep hill, which is then into Downe, which is the location of Downe House. So let's go. This pathway is lined with these beautiful silver birch trees, stretches all the way across the golf course. I've got a green on the left of me, there's a green on the right of me up there, and they planted these many years ago to direct walkers where to go. And yeah, it's a great little bit of path this. I do enjoy it. I've been down here before when it's been snowing and it's absolutely beautiful. But as we go ahead, we are coming into the area of Downe and Cudham, and see some old buildings. If I can get into the centre of Downe, I'll show you the old church there as well, and the old pubs as well. It's like a town that's just been forgotten about, and it's got its old architecture. It's got flint buildings, flint walls. It's absolutely stunning. Now within this golf course there is an old iron coal post. I'm not going to walk over to it because it's right on the other side of the golf course, but I have photos of it. I'll put photos on screen now. Look at that view. Right, now we're trekking across this meadow which leads to the back of Downe House. Now I reckon Darwin himself would have walked this track as he's doing his experiments and doing some research, the local foliage and animals. And as we come across this brow, we should hopefully be able to see the wall maybe, or something to do with the house. Aha, there we go. Right, That wall you can see over there is the back wall of his garden. And Downe House is coming into view. We can see now his house. You can see his potting shed and the brick, just the top of the brick wall surrounded the garden. So in that potting shed there is where he did a lot of his experiments with plants, and then obviously wrote about them in his office inside his house. Now it is obviously closed at the moment and it's run by English Heritage, but here you can see the back of the garden, which would have grown vegetables. His wife Emma tended to the garden quite a lot. This is the car park entrance for Downe House. They've put a photo on of Darwin's office. It says see Darwin. The front of Downe House is remarkable. All the ivy growing on the walls. And I do believe now you obviously can go in and see when it's open. The top floor is not available for the public. I'm not too sure if anyone still lives there, but the other floors you can go around and see where he lived, how he lived. And here's a plaque. Here Darwin thought and worked for 40 years and died 1882. There you go. A little bit of history there that changed life as we see it. You know, it threw religion off and brought science into the mix with evolution and animals going extinct, how they go extinct. It all happened from here. Right, so we're going to go on a little detour now into the village of Downe. Show some of the buildings there. Can I get through this gate? Yes I can. What we got in here? So Downe path, quarter of a mile that direction over there. So you can see the old buildings of Downe and the two old pubs and the church there. And then we'll head off to Cudham. It appears the pathway I was going to use is completely waterlogged, so hopefully I can go around the edge, find another entrance to the road. Actually, I might be able to go around the edge. Let's have a look. Made it. Still got dry feet. We started to come across some of the flint walls that I told you about earlier on. That old greenhouse as well. So yeah, it's a very flinty and chalky area around here, so no wonder they used it to build their buildings with. This one's completely made of flint. See some beautiful little cottages, all original. A couple of new builds stuck in between. Yeah, it's mainly flint. And as we come up here, we come to a little roundabout in the middle of Downe. The bus stops, turns around, goes back the other way. As we can see over there, we've got the Queen's Head, which Nigel Farage, Member of Parliament, often drinks in. And got the local church here. Flint again. And we'll come around the corner to the George and the Dragon and the village hall. So let's have a little look around, shall we? The village hall in Downe was built on the site of a former poorhouse. The poorhouse was erected in 1775 at a cost of £191. In 1855, the present hall was built as Downe National School by the Lubrook family of High Elms. It is an example of a Victorian village school built in traditional flint and brick with a peg tile roof, and is made more interesting by its connections to the Darwin and Lubrook families. The hall ceased to be used as a school when a new school building was erected in High Elms Road in 1905. The hall was then used as a village meeting place, and on the 15th September 1924, John Birbeck, Baron Avebury, infused it for use by the Downe Village Club. The uses included a working men's club, Sunday school, local scouts, guides, brownies and cubs, women's institute, women's fellowship and the Roman Catholic Church, various dances and plays, parish council, the residents association, the senior citizens, a childcare clinic, a library, men's fellowship, youth clubs, band practice, film shows, polling station, and on certain village occasions, peace and coronation celebrations. In 1291, Prior Henry built a chapel in the manor of Orpington at a cost of £61. It is possible it was the site of the present church. The steeple must have been built by the 16th century because an inventory refers to 3 bells. 2 were made by William Dorr of London, 1385 to 1418, one unknown maker in 1511. The windows date from 15th or 16th century. The early English lancet window, 1200 to 1300, left of the main door, viewed from inside, is all that remains of the original building. The east window was destroyed by bomb damage in World War II. The new window is the work of Miss E.V. Hone, the famous Irish artist. Crucified Christ shown between his mother and St. John. The stained glass panel on the north wall is a copy made by Frida Colborne of one of Dijon Cathedral. The original is now in the V&A. On the south wall of the nave is the Tree of Jess by Keith Colburn and was given by Mary Knox Johnson in memory of her husband David. The font was probably locally made and dates around 15th century. In 1606, a glassmaker originally from Murano, near Venice, paid £20 for his family brass memorial, originally placed in the chancel covering their grave in the crypt below. It was damaged in World War II, was repaired and replaced at the rear of the church in 1978. Right, so that was St Mary's Church in Downe, and we're going to continue the walk now into Cudham. There's a few woodlands and tracks and things we've got to walk down, so gonna make a move, catch up with you along the way. As you're leaving Downe, you might get a little glimpse of an ostrich at Christmas Tree Farm. I've been here for many years, but they do have a little array of weird and wonderful animals. Right, I've joined the track outside Downe House again, and this is where we're gonna jump back on the trail I was on and continue down. It is very slippery along here. Every step I take I seem to slide back, so it's not making it great fun, but it's all part of the game. Got my walking boots on, so shouldn't be a problem. I've come across one of the old coal posts, which would be the next one in line to mark where the taxes change for bringing coal into the capital. But yeah, they're cast iron. They're pretty cool. They're around the perimeter of London. There's quite a few around here. So I'm stood at another stile. You can see my next destination just at the top there. You see the steeple poking through the horizon. So I've got to walk up this hill and then stop up there, have some lunch, show you the church. The exact date when the church came into existence at Cudham is not known, but there is record of a payment of 7d for oil in the year AD 953, indicating that Cudham had a priest and a font, and in a Saxon script reference is made to the church here in AD 982. In the Domesday Survey, compiled in 1086, it is recorded that Gilbert Maminot
holds of the Bishop Cudham, a church is there. The bishop referred to was Odo, Bishop of Bayeux and a half-brother of William the Conqueror. Did the Normans demolish the Saxon church? It is possible that its footprint was that of the current South Chapel, perhaps with the tower at the west end. They certainly built the nave, for the two small windows, one above the current entrance door and the other opposite, date the nave as early Norman. Though its high proportions are Saxon, its size indicates a wealthy benefactor. There would have been no seats. Worshippers stood or knelt on the earthen floor, men at one side, women at the other. By 1487 the roof needed attention, and 20 shillings were left to ye making of the church rough. The door to the Norman church is in the west end. The porch and the south door would have been added later. It is thought that the king post in the roof beam above this door is from the medieval rood screen, which would have been removed along with other icons during the Reformation. On the wall to the left of the west window in the porch there is a roughly carved script, now largely lost, having been painted over, and under it a scratched dial, which is thought to show the times of Mass. The benches are not original, but are typical of a porch of this time, which was in place for the discussing parish affairs and for holding parts of the baptism and marriage services. The age of the font, which is situated west of the door from the porch, is not known. It may be 15th century, it may be from the original church. It was moved to its current position from the other side of the nave in 1977, but prior to that had been where it is now. Indeed, the font is likely to have been moved several times as practice has changed. In the north wall of the nave opposite the entrance is what appears to be a blocked up doorway. The medieval rite of baptism began with an exorcism of the devil, which left the baby via the north door for the nether regions, the abode of all evil. However, there is the suggestion that this alcove may have been a cupboard for keeping of staves and banners for ceremonial occasions, and at some stage it may have even housed a fire, for there is a flue in the thickness of the wall above.
So, with a little bit of Google, hopefully you got a few pictures of the inside. Unfortunately it's closed at the moment. Obviously what's going on at the moment. So, gonna head off and have some lunch now. There is a bench around here somewhere, which you can see from the road. And I've always wanted to sit on it and look at the view. So I'm gonna see if I can find that. And then, yeah, have some lunch on there. And I've got a beer to review. And I'm gonna have a hot chocolate as well. Right, I found a bench. It's just there. So I've got to trek up that little bit of hill and get a good feed on. Starving. It's like an ice rink down here as well. How about that then? How's that for a view? Sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath. It's quite steep, that bit was. Now in the mornings and in the evenings, if you come along this road, you see hundreds of deer in this field, grazing in the mornings and nights. And then obviously we've got Biggin Airport over there. And if you're lucky in the summer months, you can see Spitfires flying over here. So I'm going to stop here, have some lunch, have a beer, have a hot chocolate, and enjoy that view. Alright, for today's lunch we've got a Wayfarer steak and vegetables. So I'm just going to heat up in there, boil some water, have a hot chocolate, and also have one of the beers that I've brought. So let's have a look at this, shall we? Stove's all set up, ready to go. Not had this one before, so let's hope it's good. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. Tastes quite nice cold as well. Right, so that's what we're having. Let's get this on. While that's cooking, let's tuck into this, shall we? I've got a Brewdog Poppy Xmas. So, battery's not included, very funny. So this is a festive Indian Pale Ale, 6%. Is there any tasting notes on it? Don't know. Let's give this a quick mix. Heats up very quickly, this. Right, I suppose let's just tuck into it, shall we? Ready? Hey. It's quite nice. Yeah. I can't really taste what's in it, but it tastes good all the same. Oh, right, gonna drink this, gonna eat that. I'll probably give this probably a 7 out of 10. I reckon you can only drink one at a time, like it'd be too much if you have more than one. But for a nice walk today and some lunch, that's all you need. I still can't get over this view. And it's only like a stone's throw from where I live. Quite amazing, really. I'll give you a bit of history of this area, actually. So, as you can see, we are in the dip of a valley. So, millions of years ago, this was all underwater. This was a glacier. And then this channel in the middle was carved out by the glaciers melting, causing a river, which caused it to do what it's done and make a nice sort of channel for itself. And then over the years, people had sort of settled along the top in the old Stone Age, settled along the top, little camps, and hunted around here. It was very rife with wild boar and venison. In fact, it's still rife with venison at the minute. Wild boar not so much. But yeah, it's made it very fertile lands. There's lots of farms around here, lots of grazing animals, and then it just leaves you with this picture perfect view. Right, there we go. Lunch is ready. We've got some water. It's going to be boiling. It's a bit windy. I didn't bring a windshield, unfortunately, so it might just take a bit longer than it should do. It does taste good. Oh yeah. It's like one of them dinners that your nan makes, you know. Oh, delicious. Lunch and drink sorted. We'll head back down the hill, rejoin the path and make our way back to Biggin Hill. between here and there it's pretty much just woodland, so hopefully a few nice walking shots, and then I'll see you at the end. Right, we're across the other side of the valley. You can see the bench that I was sat on about there. See the top of the church in Cudham up there, and the moon's making a little appearance. So that what I've just come down is probably what I've got to go up on the other side. But it's all woodland at the minute, so being slippery, this should be entertaining. Just talking to a nice gentleman along the road, ow, nearly fell over then, who telling me all about his life of rambling and long distance walking. Really interested. I was talking to him about 10-15 minutes, telling me how he's done the Pennine Way, coast to coast, telling me about local walks around here, which is great. So if you do manage to find me on YouTube, mate, thank you very much. He told me about this path. And now I've come out here, and I'm assuming I'm going that way. I'm a little bit lost. There's no sign saying I can go that way. However, looking on the OS map and All Trails map, there is a footpath. The gentleman did say that you can go that way, but I just wanted to make sure before going into someone else's land. So it doesn't look like many people have walked that way. There's no footprints. Just double check this sign. I am just gonna go for it. Let's see what happens. I found what I think is a footpath through the fence. Yeah, looks like some sort of sty there. It's like a taxi graveyard in here. Look at that. It's a cool little toy, isn't it? Even got the Queen back of that taxi, and there's another star here. Cool. Starting to recognise the back of some of these houses, so I know I'm not far off. Just never walked down these paths before, so it is interesting to see what is on your doorstep if you go off the beaten track a little bit and see what's around. Some pretty cool places. And on the ground here we've got deer tracks, loads of them. As I said earlier, we've got an abundance of deer around here. We often see them in the field by my house. So they obviously use this as their little stomping ground. Right, here we are back on the road that leads to my house. So thank you all for watching, enjoying this journey to Downe House, to Cudham and back round to Biggin Hill, and I hope to see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Adios.